Hi everyone! I want to show you guys how I made this fabric cover. I'm going to be using this really nice butterfly fabric, and this is a really simple technique. I'm sure it's been done before. It's just something that I played around with over the holidays, and some people were asking how I did it, so I'm going to show you today. So I got my fabrics picked out for the outside cover, for the inside, and I've already put together all the signatures. It's a combination of different things like magazine pages and brochures and pattern paper and just a bunch of things. So that'll be for a flip through later on. But what I did is I put the signatures together, I did some stitching on the pages, and everything is ready to sew into my book. So the finished size of this one here is 6 by 9 with a 1-inch spine. So that's what these pieces are cut to make. So for my cover, the piece here is 15 inches wide by 11 tall. So that accounts for an extra 1 inch all around. And then I used a piece of fusible fleece on here. But if you don't have that, you could always use Craft Tex or an extra piece of light colored fabric or sweatshirt, something like that. It just adds a little bit of thickness to your cover. And so this piece here is cut 13 wide by 9 tall. So that gives you your 6 inches for your front cover, your 6 inches for your back cover, and a 1-inch spine. My inside piece was trimmed down to 13 wide by 9 tall, and I will just do a zigzag stitch on that and then pull some of this edge off so that it does fray. I want it to look a little bit junky that way, so I cut this one the exact size of the inside. And what I used on here was a piece of interface, and it's already been ironed on. So the first thing I want to do is prepare my front cover for doing the stitching on the outer edge. And I'm going to use Fabri-Tac and just glue down all the edges. So I like to start with my corners, and I try to make them as perfect as possible. So what I do is I put a drop down just to have it there already, and then I go in with my finger if I can fit it in there, and I try to fold the corner right where the fleece starts, and I press down that way so that I've got perfectly angled corner. So then I go around and I do that on all 4. And what I like about Fabri-Tac is that it doesn't dry too hard, so it's not going to feel hard once my cover is made. I suppose if I used a lot of it, it might, but I just use a tiny bit just to hold the fabric down. Okay, so my corners are down, so now I'm going to do all the edges around. Now if you don't have Fabri-Tac, you could always use craft glue, because you will be using the sewing machine to secure this down afterwards as well. Okay, so I went around and checked out my corners, and everything's looking pretty square. So I am ready to go over to my sewing machine and do a bit of stitching around the edge. Now, I'm not always a straight sewer. So what I often do is I go around once and then I'll go around a second time. But first, before I go, I'm gonna just check this out and see if my measurements were good. There we go. That is gonna look so cute. I just love this fabric. What I'm also going to do while I'm at the machine is I'm going to do a zigzag stitch on my inside piece. Okay, so my zigzag stitch is done on my inside piece, and my straight stitch doubled up is all done on the cover. So before moving ahead, this is where you would decide if you want to add a piece of lace trim or anything like that. If you want to add a elastic closure this way, or if you're adding an elastic this way, or some seam binding or ribbon closure or anything, because you would sew it onto your outside cover before this one goes down onto this one. So at this point, I've decided I'm not going with this one again. I like to try things once, and then if I really like it, then I keep doing it. If I'm not that crazy about it, then I don't repeat that one. So I'm just gonna leave this one without a closure for now, because the fact that it's fabric, if I do decide later that I want something like a button closure or something, then I could always sew my button onto the cover, even with the journal already bound. So I'm not going to do a closure at this point. So I'm going to set my outside piece aside, and now it's time to actually bind or sew my signatures into the inside cover. So how I do that is pretty much do a pamphlet stitch into this inside piece, and this inside piece is then going to get glued to the outside piece. That's pretty much it. That's how I do this one. So I'm not going to pay too much attention to where the shorter pages are on the inside here. I'm just going to make sure that things are lined up top and bottom as best as I can. And I'm going to use a 3-hole pamphlet stitch on here. I could do 5, but I'm just gonna do 3. I'm gonna make sure that they're nice and secure, and it's gonna hold, because this isn't that tall of a book and my pages aren't that heavy. So to do my measuring, I'm gonna turn it over, and I'm gonna use a ruler and a pen, and I can write on here because this isn't gonna show, it's going to be on the inside. So I'm just gonna eyeball it and go to the center here and just make a mark so that I know where the middle is. I went to the center this way and to the center this way, and then I measured where my 3 signatures are going to go, and they are 2/3 of an inch apart from each other. Here we go, there. Now before I sew my signatures in, I'm actually going to poke my holes so that I can see them a little bit on the patterned fabric side. And if I still have a hard time seeing them, I may just mark them lightly with my pen. And this is just a very inexpensive awl that I purchased on eBay. So I'm trying to find my holes here, and I can just lightly see them. So I may have to mark them with a pen. Then I'm going to measure where to put my holes into these signatures. So I like to use my little clips here to hold everything together. So my middle dot there, and then I go up 3 and down 3. And then I always use a thick phone book to poke the holes because it just helps to line up the entire signature. And if I need to readjust my clip, I do. And so I'm going to search for my holes here. There's the middle. Now I'm going to use my waxed linen thread here, and I always use about 3 times the height of my book. That way I've got a lot of room for pulling and tying a knot, and even doing the hearts on a string in the middle of the signature if I want. I always end up cutting off quite a bit more, but I just prefer to have enough to play with. Okay, ready to go. So I'm making sure that my fox pattern is the right way, and I'm going to start with the back signature, and I'm just going with the center here and carefully looking for the holes I made and just doing my pamphlet stitch. Okay, so 3 signatures with a 3-hole pamphlet stitch, and we are ready to glue this into the cover. So the first thing I do is I place it, try to line it up where it needs to go. That looks about right. And then I'm going to use my Fabri-Tac. Now, Fabri-Tac is very permanent, so I don't have any concerns that my book is going to come apart. So the first line of glue I'm going to place down is for the front here. I want to secure it down at least in one spot to start, and then I can come back in and do all the other sides. And then I just I'm gonna try to carefully do this so that I can put a bead all the way to the middle here and then at the bottom. And I'm also going to put one closer to the spine here just to hold it together. I'm not going to put some all through here, but I suppose you could. I'm just going to go around the edges. And then I'm just going to repeat that on this side, but I can go all around and including there. That is how I make this super easy fabric cover. I've made a few off camera that were my sort of like test ones. This one I finally did over the holidays and I really love it. I just love all the colors. The link to that one is also below. If you have any questions about this, just let me know. You know how to get a hold of me. Thank you for watching and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!